The legend of Solomon's blade. What if there was a sword that never killed, yet no liar could stand before it? A blade that did not cut flesh, but stripped kings of their crowns, without spilling a single drop of blood. They say Solomon possessed such a weapon, forged not for war, but for judgment. When it was drawn, truth became heavy. Lies crushed those who carried them, and the guilty fell without being touched. Then one night the blade vanished. The king was gone by dawn, and the world was left without its final judge. Because some weapons are too dangerous to be used, not because of how they kill, but because of what they reveal. The call of the blade. Long before crowns were forged of gold, and before thrones were built on blood, there existed a king whose power did not come from armies, but from knowledge. His name was Solomon. Legends say that the wind carried secrets to his ears, that spirits bowed when he spoke, and that angels themselves watched as he ruled. Yet among all the wonders attributed to Solomon, one truth remains buried beneath centuries of silence. A weapon unlike any other ever created. This was not a sword made for conquest. It was not born to drink blood. It was forged to judge. Hidden from the eyes of men, the blade of Solomon was said to carry a will of its own. It did not strike at flesh but at the soul. Those who stood before it felt their thoughts laid bare, their lies made heavy, their truth revealed without a single word spoken. Ancient texts whisper that when the blade was drawn, the air itself changed. Torches dimmed, hearts trembled, and men who had ruled without fear suddenly fell to their knees, crushed not by steel, but by the weight of their own deception. No ornament marked the blade. No jewel adorned its hilt. Its power did not need to shine, it was felt. On the final night of Solomon's reign, beneath a sky stripped of stars, the blade vanished. No witness spoke. No record survived unbroken. The king was gone by dawn, and with him disappeared the last balance between truth and ambition. Empires rose. Empires fell. But the blade was never seen again. Some say it was hidden beneath sacred stone. Others claim it was taken across seas by those sworn to secrecy. And a few believe it was never lost at all, only waiting. Because the blade does not answer to those who seek power. It answers to the moment when the world forgets the meaning of truth. And when that moment comes, the blade will call for its bearer. The judgment of kings. In the golden halls of ancient Jerusalem, justice was not decided by force, nor by the loudest voice in the room. It was decided in silence before the blade. When disputes shook the kingdom and truth became tangled in fear and ambition, Solomon would summon those who claimed righteousness. They stood before him, their words polished, their stories rehearsed. Yet none could prepare for what followed. The blade was brought forth wrapped in dark linen, carried by hands that trembled not from its weight, but from its presence. As the cloth was removed, a stillness fell across the chamber. Even the guards lowered their eyes. Solomon never raised the sword. He placed it between the opposing sides, and then he waited. Those who spoke falsehood felt the ground resist them. Their breath grew shallow. Knees weakened as if the stone floor itself rejected their lies. Sweat formed where confidence once lived. Some screamed. Others collapsed, unable to bear the unseen burden pressing upon their souls. But those who spoke truth felt nothing at all. To them the blade was light, silent, harmless. No blood was spilled. No execution carried out. Yet verdicts were absolute. Kingdoms changed course not through violence but revelation. Kings who believed themselves untouchable left the chamber broken, stripped of illusion, exposed before their own conscience. Word of the blade spread beyond Solomon's borders. Rulers from distant lands came not with armies, but with fear hidden behind gifts. They sought judgment, yet dreaded it. For the blade could not be bribed. It could not be deceived. It revealed not what men said, but who they were. And slowly, something darker began to stir. Those who thrived on lies, manipulation, and hidden power realized the blade was not merely a tool of justice. It was a threat to their very existence. As long as Solomon lived, and the blade remained in his hands, deception had no sanctuary. Whispers turned into plans, plans into vows. For the blade could judge kings, but kings could still conspire. And somewhere beyond the walls of Jerusalem, forces unseen began to move, not to steal the blade, but to erase it from history. The night the blade disappeared, The final night of Solomon's reign arrived without omen. No thunder shook the heavens. No stars warned of what was to come. Jerusalem slept beneath a sky unnaturally still, as if the world itself was holding its breath. Inside the temple, 7 figures gathered in silence. They were elders, scribes, guardians of sacred knowledge, men sworn to protect the balance Solomon had maintained. Each carried fear behind calm expressions, for they had all heard the same whispers. The blade had made enemies too powerful to confront openly. Solomon stood before them, older now, his once bright gaze shadowed by understanding. He did not speak of threats or conspiracies. He spoke only of inevitability. The blade cannot remain where ambition can reach it, he said quietly. Torches flickered as the blade was brought forth one final time. No judgment was passed that night. No lies exposed. The sword rested between them, silent, yet heavy with unspoken truth. Ancient scrolls describe what followed only in fragments. Some claim the temple doors sealed themselves. Others write of a tremor beneath the stone floor, as if something deep below had awakened. By dawn, Solomon was dead. No wound marked his body. No sign of struggle stained the chamber. The elders were gone. The blade had vanished without trace. Guards swore no one entered. No one left. The kingdom awoke to confusion and fear. Without Solomon, disputes turned to violence. Truth gave way to ambition, and the age of silent judgment ended forever. Official records declared the blade a myth, a symbol, not an artifact. Historians were paid to forget. Priests were ordered to deny, and those who spoke otherwise disappeared. Yet disappearance did not mean destruction. Hidden paths were sealed. Sacred chambers collapsed by design, and knowledge once spoken aloud was broken into codes, symbols, and riddles, scattered across lands and centuries. The blade was not stolen. It was removed from the world of men, or so they believed, because even buried truths have a way of surviving, waiting, listening. And somewhere beyond the reach of kings and armies, the legacy of Solomon's blade passed into shadow, carried by those who understood that some power must never be found too soon. You guardians of the hidden truth. When the blade vanished, its absence did not bring peace. It brought a silence filled with danger. Those who had helped conceal it understood one truth above all others. A power capable of judging the soul could never be allowed to fall into unworthy hands. Thus, a lineage was born, not of blood but of oath. They called themselves nothing. Names were a weakness. Instead, they became keepers scattered across regions, eras, and empires. Each knew only a fragment of the truth. No single guardian possessed the whole secret, for knowledge, when complete, invites betrayal. Symbols replaced words. Maps were encoded into architecture. Directions were hidden within prayers, numbers, and forgotten rituals. What could not be written was woven into stone, etched into walls, and buried beneath sacred ground. Centuries passed. Kingdoms rose atop the ruins of older ones, unaware that beneath their foundations lay chambers sealed not to protect treasure, but to restrain it. Temples became churches. Sanctuaries became fortresses. And the blade slept untouched by time. Yet power has a way of calling to those who crave it. As empires expanded, whispers resurfaced. Traders spoke of manuscripts that judged the reader. Scholars vanished after decoding forbidden texts. And in the shadows of medieval Europe, a new order emerged, disciplined, wealthy, and obsessed with relics tied to divine authority. The Knights Templar. Among their hidden archives appeared references to an artifact known only as the Silent Divider, a blade that separated truth from falsehood without bloodshed. Their records never named Solomon directly, but the symbols were unmistakable. They searched not for gold, but for confirmation. When the Templars fell, their enemies believed the threat eliminated. But like those before them, they misunderstood the nature of guardianship. The order was destroyed, yet the knowledge survived, broken once more into pieces, passed down through coded traditions and forbidden texts. The blade remained hidden, not lost, waiting for the age when truth itself would be endangered. And that age was drawing closer. The world that was not ready. As centuries turned, the world changed its weapons but not its nature. Crowns were replaced by titles, banners by symbols, and kings by unseen powers that ruled from behind curtains of influence. Truth became negotiable. History was rewritten, and lies learned to speak with convincing voices. It was during this age that fragments of the old warnings resurfaced. Manuscripts once dismissed as allegory began to align. Hidden symbols appeared in places never meant to hold secrets, within legal codes, religious texts, even in the proportions of ancient cities. To those trained to see, the pattern was unmistakable. The blade was stirring, not physically but in memory. Those who studied the fragments came to the same conclusion. Solomon's blade could not exist in a world that feared truth. It was never meant to be wielded by rulers seeking control, nor by crowds demanding certainty. It was designed for a moment of collapse, when deception became law and honesty a liability. Attempts were made to locate it. Every attempt failed. Some seekers vanished without trace. Others emerged changed, refusing to speak of what they had found. A few left behind warnings written in trembling script. It judges before it reveals. The guardians intervened where they could, misdirecting expeditions, corrupting maps, and ensuring that no single path led to the truth. Yet even they knew their role was nearing its end. Guardians do not choose the time of revelation, they only delay it. The blade does not respond to desire. It responds to necessity, and necessity was approaching. Across the world, trust eroded. Words lost meaning. Truth fractured into versions, each defended with violence. In such a world, the blade would not be seen as justice, but as a threat. And so it remained hidden. Because a weapon that exposes truth is far more dangerous than one that spills blood. And until humanity remembered the cost of lies, Solomon's blade would remain silent. The prophecy of return. The final references to Solomon's blade do not speak of a place, a map, or a hidden chamber. They speak of a moment. Deep within a fragmented manuscript preserved through centuries of destruction, a single passage appears again and again, written in different languages by different hands, yet always with the same meaning. The blade will not be found. It will reveal itself. According to the prophecy, the return of the blade is not triggered by discovery, but by imbalance. When truth becomes indistinguishable from deception, when justice bends to power, and when fear governs decision, the blade awakens. Not in the hands of kings, not in temples or vaults, but before those willing to face themselves. The prophecy warns that the blade's return will not be gentle. It will not announce itself with fire or conquest. Instead, it will expose. Institutions will fracture. Leaders will fall without a single blow. Those built upon lies will collapse under the weight of their own reflection. And yet, the blade does not promise salvation. Promises clarity. For some, it will feel like judgment. For others, liberation. And for many, unbearable truth. The last line of the prophecy is deliberately unfinished. Its ending left blank by every scribe who copied it. Scholars believe this was done intentionally, because the conclusion has not yet been written. It belongs to the age in which the blade returns. Perhaps that age is still ahead. Or perhaps it has already begun. Because the greatest myth surrounding Solomon's blade is not that it ever existed, but that it is still waiting. And if the blade were to appear today, the real question would not be where it came from, but who among us would dare to stand before it.